Hi! Welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I am Isla Hink. We are Easy Allies. And this is the Easy Allies podcast. I did it out of order. I am joined today by Robamiani.
Hey, how's it going?
Robamiani took a bit of a spill earlier. Got him mostly fixed up. I'm glad the monitor isn't broken.
No.
I lightly tapped it with a chair, and it completely fell apart and fell over.
Of course.
Because the table...
As it always happens.
Robamiani's legs are broken. I need to get some wood glue. And making all this happen is Don Casanova.
Heyo, Damiani's looking good.
Woo! How you doing?
He's intact. I'm feeling good.
Oh, I thought you were talking about yourself for a second.
Oh, no. Yes, I'm intact
Don
as well,
is intact.
thankfully. I can't say that much. I'm intact.
Robamiani, run diagnostics on yourself. He's looking a little diagonal, otherwise he's fine.
There we go.
He's got his nice clean glasses.
Oh, yeah, look how crooked he is.
His teeth are feeling good.
Oh, yeah, how's that chomper? How's that?
Are your teeth feeling good? I just took a guess.
I went to the dentist. He said it's like a second checkup. Yeah, he said it's healing pretty good. I have to go in a few weeks to get I already had one done, a CBCT scan, 3D scan of your mouth.
Whoa.
Is that where you have to bite that weird thing?
No, you it's like you bite into something to keep your mouth in place, but it's not weird. It's like looks like a mouth guard. You just bite into it, and the thing just goes around you, like your head.
Oh yeah.
I had one done before my root canal, but it just does. They just need to see how deep they have to go eventually for the implant when they do the implant in a few months. But I don't that's just the next step. But it's healing good, but it still feels like funky. Like there's still it's not completely healed over. So
stuff, there's always residual weirdness. You're looking svelte, Damiani.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
I thought so too.
Yeah, you're looking good. We did turn off the Gen AI. General advisory, if you have a Twitch account, they opted you into an AI thing, and you need to turn that off. Make sure you do that.
Yeah, their CEO had a great reason why it's
why
it's set to that. Because otherwise, no one would opt in. No one wants to opt in.
If it was opt in, no one would do it. It's
okay.
Is that not an indicator to you?
Then maybe people don't want it.
Good Lord. Anyway, that won't be the end of shady business practice talk on this week's podcast. Because good heavens, we're here to talk about what's new, what's news, and what we've been playing. This week we've got Precognition, Giant Rats, CEO Crash Outs, and the numbers, Mason. Huber's not here, so I have to do our
There's
numbers.
a sales report?
No, just 3 games reported sales things, and I thought it was. We're gonna end on a little bit of good news after some. There's good news, and then there's some funny news, funny bad news, and then there's just bad news, and then there's some good news, and then we have a couple of game impressions, and then we got some love and respects. And then we're going to go home and watch Silo. And it's going to be great. Except that'll just be me, because nobody ever watches that show. Nobody else watches that show because it's boring. But I love it.
I don't have an opinion one way or the other. I haven't seen it yet.
Rebecca Ferguson, Damiani. Heard of her?
Yes,
Anyways,
I've heard of her.
Let us begin with the best way to begin, which is... not exactly a game announcement, but a game title and information drop. Sam Barlow's new game, Half-Mermaid, their company, Half-Mermaid, has announced the name and concept of the next game, the follow-up to Immortality, one of this courtroom's favorite games. It is called Precognition. This is the company that made, Precogs. Get up! We're gonna get up in that milk.
Oh God! I hate that scene.
So Half-Mermaid. They made Her Story and Immortality. Their new game is called Precognition. Full disclosure, also, I've got some friends who work at this company, but I don't know anything about this game until today. So they're good at keeping secrets. It is a sci-fi horror game, and it is releasing in spring of 2028. It is a collaboration between Half-Mermaid and Brandon Cronenberg, son of David Cronenberg, who Brandon has made 3 movies: Possessor, Antiviral, and Infinity Pool. which I would say are very visually interesting and cool concepts. This is also going to be published by Kinetic's new publishing label. That's the company that does Phasmophobia. So this will be one of their first games that they're publishing, which is kind of interesting. I forgot they were doing that. The Steam description of Precognition is, after receiving an experimental implant, Diana gains the ability to see her own future, use her ability to navigate kaleidoscopic possibilities and change the world for the better or for the worse.
There you go.
And then I have a little blurb here. You see the future by... Wait, I wrote down, you can see the future... Oh, wait, okay. You see the future, but by seeing it and making choices based on that, it causes butterfly effects and changes the future. So knowing the future changes the future, which is a concept I always love. Eurogamer was in a Q&A where Sam Barlow kind of expanded on this and said that Diana has photographic memory. She's in this experiment to improve memory. And they, quote, discover a side effect of the device is that people start receiving memories of the future, which I think is a very cool phrase. Most other people forget these, but since Diana has a photographic memory, she can remember them and call them up later. And then you can choose moments from that to collect. You like hold the shoulder buttons and you collect those memories into like a pool of an inventory of alternate possible futures. So they compared it to, like in Memento, he's got all those tattoos and Polaroids. She's walking around with Polaroids of her future. And so you have complete freedom to decide what you think is useful to send back. And like, then as soon as you do that, it changes the future because you know it. So like, sort of like in the William Gibson book, The Peripheral, where it's like, somebody calls backwards in time but creates a branch because that never happened in their own past, so they create a new reality by calling backwards in time. Sick shit.
Yeah, that seems cool. Like nonlinear time. Like,
yeah,
we've had a lot of media deals with it, but like when making it a game, you know, where you have consequences. Like obviously games have done that before. It just these always end up being like how meaningful and how like complicated can your decisions impact the game. You know, is it just a simple like branching thing where it's like, okay, there was something slightly different, or do you like get a completely different experience? I think those are like, you know, always wondering about that. And sorry, the Visions of the Future, just because I finally finished replaying Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition, that's one of the things the main character has in the beginning. His vision, the Monado, the sword, gives him power to see glimpse the future and change the future. It's one of the Monado's powers. So I was like, hey, see, it's very, very popular in video games, seeing the future and having visions of the future.
Is that the one where the Monado's also like a chick?
That's the second one. That's Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where the swords can be sexy girls or I don't know if they're sexy guys, but they're sexy
people like, who look young but are really
they're all like
old,
anime
kind of
characters. Yeah, but they do make the two main female character sword blades or whatever are very yes.
Great, good stuff.
Yeah.
But this is an interesting evolution of the technology that they had in, or the mechanic that they had in Immortality. If you didn't play that, you're going through footage from lost films, and you get them kind of out of order. And the way that you kind of drill down and find more footage is through something they called the match cut system, where you would click on, like, let's say there's a vase in a scene. You click on the vase, or vase if you prefer, and it would take you to another shot that has a vase in it. Which I think is such a cool, and like they just did it by like hard coding a huge spreadsheet of links between things, and it's like it sounds so painfully arduous, but it paid off. And so this to me is an interesting thing because it's like you can take chunks of footage and then it'll lead you to a different kind of future, and you collect all these little things yourself, you know? So it seems like they're probably leveraging the tech they had on that other game, but doing a new thing with it, which is so cool.
I mean, it's cool to take like a concept from a previous game instead of making like a direct sequel, like expanding about a gameplay concept. Like they're probably working on it. Like, wouldn't this be cool if we took this and used it for like a game where we can like change the future? And,
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
it's such a neat idea. I'm really excited for it, and a sci-fi horror game.
Yeah, I forgot.
Like,
This
with
must
that
be,
is
you said
horror.
Horror.
Yeah, which is crazy. And like the Infinity Pool guy, you know, I don't think I've seen Antiviral, but I've seen Possessor and Infinity Pool, and like visually really stunning, really wild concepts. And he was there for like conception and writing stuff. I don't know the division of labor on that, and I don't know if he was actually like filming things, but I think he was there to like conceive and help write at minimum. Chat says there are not always women, the swords. There's a sexy guy and a
I knew
blob.
they're not. I think I was trying to get at like the character designs.
Yeah.
Pyra and Mithra, the name of the two main characters, their designs were something. The fact that they got revised a few times in these new versions. Apparently, there's newer outfits that are even more revised in this version. I'm kind of curious to see.
Now, when we say revised, do we mean?
Let's say they covered up a little bit more.
Oh, okay. Revised in that direction. Okay.
Yeah,
I like
in that direction.
Right.
Yeah. We went from almost very little clothing to they have some clothes on.
You changed your name to Latrine? Yeah, it used to be Shithouse. It's a good change. It's a good change. Next up, unless we have anything more to say about that, I just thought, I don't know, I'm jazzed about that. I loved fucking Immortality.
No, and it's
so
a time when we're like seeing studios shut down,
like,
everyone doubling down on like safe bets.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah,
you know?
fully. Okay, this is long, but intricate, and I think pretty funny in a sad way. The Saber CEO is having a hilarious crash out.
Oh.
The backstory for this, and most of this comes from a website called This Week in Video Games, which I don't think is related to in any way one of my first jobs out here, which I did not love. But different company. Anyway, that's an aside. Never mind. But long story short, Saber Interactive has denied that they fired former lead writer Stella Sacco so it could, quote, use ChatGPT in Rideshare Stimulator. Sacco was the narrative designer who previously worked as lead writer at Saber, and she reiterated claims that she had been replaced with ChatGPT midway through development on the project. And then Saber CEO Matthew Karsh denied the accusations in a statement to This Week in Video Games, suggesting her replacement was a performance-based decision. There's been lots of back and forth and blah, 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 blah. It's important to note that at the current moment, the game does not have an AI disclosure on their Steam page, which is interesting in a minute. A little more background before we get to today's developments. In a statement made to PC Gamer earlier in the week, a spokesperson for Saber said neither Saber nor Unigine, U-N-I-G-I-N-E, it's like Unengine or something, have replaced any writers with AI for Rideshare or any other game. In fact, Saber's staff of writers has tripled since 2023. Rideshare's story was written entirely by real people. The publisher's statement continued, acknowledging that the game does in fact use some form of presumably generative AI. Quote, okay. The game will also feature an experimental free ride mode that, by necessity, incorporates AI as the number of passengers in the game is infinite, it said. We are firm believers in using AI tools to improve or enhance gameplay experiences and improve NPC behavior, as we have done since Saber was founded in 2001. AI means something very different now.
Yeah, we've been using AI since 2001. What's the problem, everybody?
What's the problem?
Come on. 2001 AI.
NPCs have always had AI. That means the same thing. Yeah, I love in the same breath going, everything is written by humans. Well, of course we use AI to have passenger dialogue. There are infinite passengers. That's like... It's like, well, that's story, guy. That dialogue is part of the story.
Smarter Child, right? You know, an AIM. Yeah, that was their Chat GPT back then.
It's so funny to me, but it's not over. It gets even crazier.
Oh boy.
As the industry continues to contract, Saber continues to hire. None of our 3,000 plus employees have to worry about being replaced by AI. Sure, Jan, whatever.
Okay.
Today, This Week in Video Games requested a follow-up comment from Saber Interactive and received the following statement from Karsh, who's the CEO of the company.
Okay.
Stella, this is all a quote. Stella who? I had to ask Claude because I have never spoken to her or seen her. We have already said we are using AI for certain parts of the game and will update the Steam page once we have finalized the feature set. Let me clarify that the entire story script, were it to win an award, would go to someone who can walk up on stage and receive it. It was always our intention to reveal this until Stella violated her confidentiality clause and revealed this before we were ready. We look at our use of AI in this particular game. Also, yeah, I thought you didn't know who Stella was.
Yeah, Stella who? And then you're
Stella
like, now
who?
you know what they
this
did?
This bitch did this, yeah. We look at our use of AI in this particular game, which will be a lower price title. So great.
That's important, guys.
As a plus for consumers. They look at it as a plus. As far as Stella is concerned, again, he doesn't know who that is, but he's talking a bunch about her. She was replaced by someone more talented and terminated for a variety of reasons a few months later. From what I can gather, she enjoys controversy even more than I do. I would frankly, in retrospect, have been happy to replace her with AI. At least we would be dealing with someone programmed to be honest. What the fuck? And then later, Sako,
I bet
the person,
I bet they had AI write this for them.
Oh, probably.
And then they there's Reddit to whoever was interviewing him This Week in Video Games.
Yeah. And then Stella responded, I've seen the statement by Matt Karsh, the CEO of Saber Entertainment, and all of the truly horrendous things he said about me. I think it should be obvious to anyone who reads that statement that he's lashing out because he did not want people to know there was AI use in the game. She says, everything I said was true. Here's more truth. This statement is remarkably pathetic for the CEO of any company to be making, and combined with the AI use, it will do far more to damage Saber's reputation than it ever could mine. This screed will be many people's first exposure to the Saber brand. Anyway, I just love, I love both the PR people basically saying, like, we use people, but of course we have AI writing our passenger dialogue. And then him going, I don't know who Stella is. And then going on a tirade about how much he hates her.
It's like AI trying to solve the Penrose staircase or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, all this can be true and good. Like, pay no attention. Only read one sentence at a time and don't connect them.
Yeah.
Just give your feelings on each sentence. It makes you feel good, right? Don't form a larger narrative.
Yeah.
Where the
all of these things are in a vacuum. Yeah. It's whatever, man. It's all like, God damn it. In similar but better, I guess, well, more heartening news in a way, unless we have anything else to say about Saber.
The only thing I'll say is what might suck is that, as we continuously point out, so many regular normal people outside our bubble will never hear about this and will never care about this, sadly.
It's interesting because, like, I guess all you can hope is that, like, games that are, that rely too much on AI, that are like slop or whatever, one just hopes that they will just not find a huge consumer base.
Yeah. I hope we're still at a point where a threshold majority of people who engage with video game, any kind of, media, can see, like, long form, like, movies, entire television episodes, video games. The more AI you use, the more it's noticeable, and I think people don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like for generative AI, it's like images, short things seem to, like, pass for most casual people.
Right.
But the longer they get, the more complex. People are just like, this looks terrible. This looks like annoying. Like the Coke commercial they did in the holiday last time. It was like 30 seconds to a minute, and they're like, wow, it starts to look worse the longer you go on. So that statement about doing damage, like, the game's being released, the rideshare stimulator.
Yeah.
If it just starts sound like the lines just sound really shitty and dumb and like, what the hell are they even saying? And not in a funny way where it goes viral, then sure, like, people be like, all right, I'm done with this game, or leave negative reviews. Hopefully, we'll see.
Like, that's the thing, is like infinite content is not, that's not interesting, you know? Like, it's not thoughtful. It doesn't mean anything necessarily. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, oh God, yeah. Just like Spotify and all that with AI music and AI movies and stuff, like starting to become a thing. I'm just like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I saw. We'll save it for another time. It's non-gaming related. We don't have to talk about AI forever.
Yeah. I'm getting kind of tired about talking about layoffs and AI.
It was more like, positive. I just can't remember what it is. I hate bringing up stuff when I only half remember the thing and don't like have the source and shit, because I think that's bad etiquette. For that. But I read something about like one of the AI companies said they're going to start actually tagging shit. Like, they're actually going to put like force watermarks on everything. People can't hide it anymore.
That'll be good.
Because like they're getting like, I guess that there's pushback is doing something.
Who's going to do
that? And people, and I'll like try and look it up. But
you didn't remember who it was.
I read it on.
It's okay if you don't remember. I just thought I missed hearing it. But I mean, like that should be how it is.
Anthropic will embed watermarks in text and attached signs in their metadata to all Claude models and products going forward.
Okay.
Because of the EU regulations. Right, thank you, EU, for having some decent protections that force companies to have to do this and have to apply it worldwide.
That's like saying like new feature. This gang of robbers that's going to come into your house and break all your shit and steal everything of value is at least going to announce themselves when they come in the door. Like whatever. All right. I don't know if this is a feel-good thing, because it's born of suffering, but at least it feels good when people kind of fight back, I guess, a little bit. Bethesda devs have employed kind of interesting methods of kind of protest to layoffs. Workers at Bethesda's Rockville, this is via Kotaku, workers at Bethesda's Rockville, Maryland office decided to commemorate a visit from Microsoft leadership, I think Asha Sharma and maybe others, in a unique way to protest the mass layoffs that have seen 1,600 people lose their jobs, with another 1,600 likely to be laid off throughout the rest of the year. Developers put up a giant inflatable rat, known affectionately throughout union organizers as Scabby. Members of the Bethesda Game Studios Union, 1BGS CWA, also planted 800 red flags outside of the office, each representing a person who had lost their job since July of 2025. So in the images, the rat looks very disgusting and large, and then there's just a big, sea of red flags, and it says one flag equals one job. That was outside. It was out front of the office.
Was it Bethesda or was it id who tried to do the shrines inside, and HR told them to take it down?
Yeah, so that's kind of the second part of this. They had posters and stuff in their cubicles, but were told by management to take them down. This set up that they were doing that also at Bethesda. I think it might have been id. But then they said a lot of people in the inside switched to balloons.
Okay.
I assume maybe also red, but I don't know that for sure. I'm just guessing, but because of the flags. But yeah, so kind of an interesting way to show solidarity and protest, and kind of like show the numbers of the actions of the actual people who are coming to your office to,
Yeah.
Kiss babies and shake hands or whatever the hell it is they're doing there, but yeah.
Yeah. Acts like these, it feels like, it's good, but also like it's hard to feel that like higher ups like are even remotely moved by this. So this is the weird thing that pops in my head every time I hear like an act of like defiance, and like from what I think of a CEO or some like high level executive, is the scene from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yeah. The end when he captures Chevy Chase's boss. Right. He's brought in by Randy Quaid, and he gives that monologue about like cutting bonuses, it sounded great on paper, but when you actually see people and, realize actual people work, you don't realize how hard it's going to hit them. It's like, that would never happen. That sentiment does not exist anymore. Like, it's like, oh, that is like, yeah, it seemed believable back then, but now it's like, that's pure fantasy and nonsense.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, that's like 80s kind of like 80s, 90s kind of dream America. Yeah, trying to still paint like corporate CEOs like they have some humanity. They're still good people. They can be Scrooged and grow a heart of gold. Like yeah, it's funny. Well, yeah, it makes me wonder, like, like in militaries or whatever, where they have you kind of like they break down your kind of judgment of the enemy and make them kind of dehumanize them, so you feel less about fighting them, you can't think of people as people. I wonder if CEOs of these big companies get similar training or if they're just naturally like this. Like,
it's called being rich.
Yeah, being rich, a sociopath, and but like you have to, like, if you're in the shoes of any of these big CEOs of these companies, because they're people too, presumably. And it's like, if I was in charge, like, I've not had to lay off 1,600 people, but I've had to part ways with people before, and like, it sucks, and it fucking tore me up, and I hated it. And like, I can't imagine like walking into an office with 800 red flags out front, and like the mental gymnastics you would have to do to be like, well, that's not my fault. I didn't personally fire these people. I didn't personally let them all go. Like, ugh.
It's a thing. Like, yeah, I haven't obviously had to do it, but like they talk about, like, I've heard of training, but to bring up films again, because the easiest way to, like, be relatable, the film Moneyball, Brad Pitt and that
other scuzzbag.
Yes, thank you. He tells him to tell one of the players they've been traded, and he's like, no, I can't do that. Like, he just bought a house, just enrolled his kid into school here. He goes, he's a professional, he'll understand it. Go do it. Like they make him do it. Like, and there's like countless other movies, TV shows, like, go do it. Go deliver the bad news. Like, you must learn to do your job. And it's like, that is a reality of like business, but also I imagine for like the longest time that scene is like, yes, you need to like find a way to do that, and by doing it, you like the people who are quote unquote better at it, like either have like a formula to doing it, or like they just disassociate and like treat the, like, you expect the person to like they understand it's business, it's professional, but like again, that's still moving away from like you're not dealing, like you're not, it's a person, they do have things. Of course, in Moneyball they make it normal. When he finally does it, the guy's like, I understand, thank you, and it's like, oh, okay, like, I'm sure that's how every single one goes great every time. Well, they're all smooth like that.
The irony of that also is that the higher up telling their underling to go fire someone is passing the responsibility to their underling and not having to do it themselves, right? So it's like you got to learn how to do this. It's like, well, like, did you ever learn how to do this? Like, you're making me do it.
Like Office Space, like, we find that doing firings on Fridays is like the less chance of an incident.
Less chance of an incident.
Oh my God. I was like, oh dear.
It's bleak, but it's nice that someone is at least trying to put the message in front of them in a way that hopefully they'll see it. I mean, I was picturing as I was reading that story, like, the Microsoft leadership just buried in their phones. They didn't even look at the windows until they walked in and like just missed the entire message. But like, maybe, hopefully they saw it.
Yeah.
People do just live in completely different worlds, though. It's kind of wild, like different based on socioeconomic status and like where you're born and all your whole different world. Like, you are in a different reality. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. I can keep it video game related real quick. How long did it take for most of us who lived in the U.S. to realize that, like, the great video game crash was just the great U.S. video game crash of the 80s?
Oh,
Didn't happen in the rest of the world, but for, like, till, like, maybe 10, 15 years ago, I was like, yeah, the Nintendo saved the video game industry.
Games
like,
died. They went away.
They died. But it's like everyone else is like, what are you talking about? Like it was video games doing great like in Japan and in Europe. Like Nintendo was even what? Like what do you like? That's very America centric. I'm like, oh, but it was up to that point. It's like here, it's like it's taught like that is video game history. So it's like, oh. Yeah.
It's funny, like being married to someone who's not American. I've definitely kind of opened my eyes more and more, and just part of getting older and like paying more attention. But like, yeah, how Amerocentric our childhoods were in our education.
I would say being very privileged to be able to go to Europe as a kid. My grandma took me when I was like 10. I want to say around 10. Definitely not much older than 10.
Yeah.
And going to Europe and being exposed, like, it's from a kid's perspective, like seeing like, oh, I want a soda. Like they have soda here, right? Like, yes, they give me a Coke. It's like a tiny can. I'm like, what? As a kid, like in my mind, I'm like, huh?
Right.
Is this like a small Coke? Like everything,
they don't even have
like
big Cokes
just
here.
something simple like that. Like thinking like think from a child's perspective.
Right.
It's like, oh, things can be different in other. Like it was like something that communicated. It seems stupid to me. That can communicated a very important point. I was like, oh, things can be different. And then and then it became more of like, got over that like anxiety part of like, oh, is everything gonna be like weird and different here, to like, I'm very curious about what is like different over here. You know, why? How is it different?
And then the real mind fuck is when you get older than that, and you realize not only can things be different somewhere else, they can be better somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh.
Yeah,
we've been lied to.
The best thing for that was video game stuff. Was that was when I first learned about PAL. I mean, I didn't know it was called PAL, but like when we went to a shop, I asked about video games. Like, oh, you're from America. Well, these games won't work on your system. I'm like, what? No, like here's what an NES looks like over here. I'm like, that's different. And I was like, or a Super Nintendo at the time. Sorry, it was and like they had the cooler one, the European one with the colors on the controller. Yeah, I was like, dang, these look cool, but I can't have that.
Can't have it. Can't have it all.
Not yet. 20 years too soon.
All right, two bits of sad news here. Layoffs over at Restart, which was owned by Walmart and started only in December of 2024, has laid off everyone. Via Aftermath, Imran Khan wrote on Blue Sky, so we found out this morning that everyone, myself included, from Restart's editorial staff has been let go. Editor-in-Chief Brandy Barthelson wrote that the entire editorial team at Restart, myself included, was laid off today. With that, my time in games media has also come to an end. Associate editor Jesse Fatelli, who is a friend of the show, Deals writer Miles Obenza, and senior editor Henry Stenhouse also confirmed layoffs on social media. This just sucks. That sucks. I mean, it sucks because, and also like, I don't know, owned by Walmart was always kind of weird.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this, and then completely, and I think like a lot of other people, even within our circle, sadly kind of forgot this was a thing.
Yeah. Until
these layoffs were announced, which is like not a great sign because, but also like it's getting really, really difficult to be part of like traditional games media. Even if you're like backed by, a big company, it feels like you're just living on borrowed time no matter what.
I didn't copy this part out, but in the Aftermath article, which I encourage people to go read, they had a quote from the, I think, person in charge of Restart, saying something along the lines of, again, I'm paraphrasing because I didn't copy it down, but like something along the lines back in 2024 saying like it would be naive to see this going for years if we don't have good numbers, if we underperform. Yeah. And so kind of like, this is sort of the harsh reality of being owned by Walmart is like the axe is kind of above your head, I feel like, from the start. And like having worked at companies that were owned by giant weird corporations or corporate scams, we know what that's like to constantly be like, well, today we might all get fired. Well, okay, maybe next week, like,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, condolences to everyone who was laid off. Imran Khan, I believe, like, has just not had great luck.
No,
I want to
yeah.
say, I feel like every few years, but they seem to hopefully be sticking with it. I know they're involved in some other stuff as well, but like the one from you said the editor in chief, I believe, said their time had come to an end, which is
Right.
like. We talked about it last week. We talked about in the last 2 or 3 weeks. This conversation came up either on our group stream or the podcast, where I was just saying that like this is like it's like one of the worst times to try and get into either games media or the video game development industry or publishing industry. Like it's really difficult. It's flooded with a lot of talent, but also because of that reality and the veterans who are seeing the writing on the wall. More than ever, just moving on to other like careers, trying to like find jobs elsewhere because the stability here is just horrible. Yeah. It's horrible, and it's like that was the analogy metaphor I was giving. Sorry, the analogy was like pro athlete, like it's becoming like a YouTube content creator / Twitch. Because they're talking about the Arizona State University or University of Arizona is offering an influencer track for a degree to become like a content influencer. Mm-hmm. It's like that's for 100,000 plus. I don't know if that's a lot anymore, or that's a lot, or that's normal now for tuition. But cool, you get to go there and learn that. But like the chance of you becoming an established content creator who can like even like make a living off of it even for a few years, and that's your primary job, is so ridiculously low that like it's like comparable to like becoming like a professional athlete. Like it's just so hard.
Yearly for private nonprofit is like 40 to 45,000.
Sorry, I thought that was a little high. I thought like University of Arizona.
That's yearly. So like if you have a 4-year program, that is 100,000.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it was yearly or that was like the total thing. Then maybe that's not so bad.
The average for public in-state public 4-year universities. This is just Google's bullshit AI. Who knows? But is like 11,000, 12,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Per year.
I'm not sure if that's true.
For in-state, if you're out of state, it's like 25.
Yeah, they go up for that.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if it's your passion, your dream, like.
But my university is way more than that.
Try and pursue like a game media career, like in your spare time by like freelance or like I wouldn't say like go all in. Be doing something else or have like a backup plan, like also especially right now.
The idea of going to college for being an influencer is, I mean, maybe it's a good idea. Maybe you learn good practices, but like that seems like a huge financial outlay to do something that is not a guarantee, because nothing is obviously, but like also that you can just kind of start doing and building, and if you have good practices that you can learn online, you can just do it. I don't know. You can do
I think it's because of demand.
And there's too many people. There's too many people doing it.
Too many. I'm just going to say a lot of Gen Z and upcoming Gen Alpha, especially Gen Alpha, from their point of view, they think the optimal career path is to be a YouTuber or Twitch streamer. Yeah. They don't understand the realities behind it. They just see it's something that exists. They see like it's like their world. And so like us when we were younger, video games, but like video games are like vast and huge, and like, Twitch streamers, there are a lot of them, and like you can absolutely stream on Twitch to your heart's content and have fun and stuff, but making it your career is the big thing here. Like they think it's going to be their job, and it's like it's going to be very difficult.
Like Screaming Argonaut just said in chat, it's the new Hollywood. And like as a kid, I watched movies and stuff, and I was like, I want to do movie stuff. And they're watching YouTube and Twitch, and they want to do YouTube and Twitch stuff. Like it makes sense. Like
yeah. Sorry, I was a little presumptuous, but like for like me, like as a teenager, I was reading like Nintendo Power, EGM, and I was like, I'm freaking doing this. Like I did IGN, like the website stuff too was also going on around the time I was a teenager. So it was like, I'm 100% this is what I would do a career. But I didn't know the realities behind it either. I was very ignorant. And I would say my trajectory is like a little bit, very fortunate.
Yeah.
Even 20 years ago, it wasn't that easy to get a job in games media.
Well, that's
and now I'd say it's even way harder than it's ever been.
That was like kind of the half joke answer, but like when people would ask us back in the day, like, I want to do what you guys do, you know, like, do you have any advice, you know? And we would give actual advice, but like the joke answer would always be like, be at a company that existed before YouTube, get publicly fired, and use that trajectory to launch a new thing, just slightly later than the bubble. And like, that was our way of doing it, but like, you know, obviously it's not a real answer, but
yeah.
All right. Kind of similar crappy news.
Excuse me.
Netflix is shutting down some of its studios that it acquired.
Of course.
This is via Stephen Totilo and Chris Kerr on Blue Sky. This happened like an hour ago, 2 hours ago. So this is very developing. This just happened as we're recording this. But yeah, Netflix is shutting down 2 of its game studios. It only has 1 left beyond its central team. Moonlot, which hadn't released a game, and Night School, which did Oxenfree, which just released the thriller Unhinged. Netflix says that it still sees games as, quote, an opportunity. And then Netflix co-CEO, Greg Peters, just told investors recently that Night School's latest release, Unhinged, became one of its 2 most successful cloud game launches. Evidently, it wasn't enough to save the studio or its workforce. The other one was FIFA. So, who knows where the numbers break down on that? But
yeah, that without numbers,
Right.
like I don't imagine Netflix games do great. Period.
Yeah.
So like making that. Yeah, reaching that status, like that was like something to like woo future investors or something. Like, hey, that we still see games as an opportunity. Like, we had some big ones on here, but like they're never going to release the numbers. So obviously it wasn't good enough to keep one of the studios around. I did see like a comment about this because I was curious, but like Unhinged, there was like apparently people were interested in that game, but you can only play it on the mobile version of Netflix. Can't even play it on your browser, on your PC.
That's
so like
weird.
Netflix is really hiding these games to make them really difficult to play. It's like maybe if you made them easier to find and like find them on like desktop and be able to play them on your desktop and not just on your mobile. But this is like sounds like a fundamental misunderstanding. But also like they thought like people would just want to like play the games on Netflix, but like you're on Netflix. You're there to like watch stuff. I don't feel like you're on there to play games. I get what the swing they took, but ultimately I think people go to their platforms for like very specific things. You go to like Apple Music, Spotify, whatever, you go for music. You're not going there for movies or games or there.
Yeah.
You know, now obviously
and they have
like
Apple Arcade and whatever, but I don't know the numbers on that. I think it does well, but I don't know.
Exactly. Like there used to be like, remember the all-in-one entertainment thing like 10 years ago. That was the thing. I think Netflix was just like, behind the times on that, and they're still, to them it was probably dropping a bucket.
Yeah, when we pitched Seedlings to Netflix and got a development deal with them, that was like, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years ago. They were talking about doing games. They were talking about doing interactive stuff to us back then, and they hadn't done any yet. And then like a couple years after that, they had the interactive like Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, they had that.
So like they had talked to us about doing that a long time ago.
I think even that, they've buried that.
They took that down, yeah. That's what's crazy about this is like they bury it, and then even the ones that are popular, like Bandersnatch I watched, I thought it was kind of cool. I had never heard of Unhinged until today, which means that they were doing something wrong. Yeah. I didn't know it was David Fincher and Zach Cregger backed. That's crazy. Like a David Fincher interactive game? I would have wanted to know about that. Like, what the fuck?
That's the thing. I feel like Netflix's current like flow model for how they make stuff, like how things are consumed, because everything's released almost immediately.
Yeah.
They want that. They probably wanted that for games, but the problem is games take time to develop.
Games take long, yeah.
And then if you do that for a game where people are gone from after a week, they want to move on to something else. Like that's the cost it takes to make them too is like, what? No, that's no way you're gonna make money off that. Like games, have to meet a certain threshold, and like it seemed like counterintuitive to their engagement model that they were trying to do, or they want people to watch things right away. They want them to be with them, stay with them, and then like move on. Like when a new thing comes out, move on to the next thing and engage it right away. They hate delayed engagement, and so like long-term or evergreen stuff seems to like not be their thing, unless it's like a licensed series that they brought on there, like when they have like Friends Forever or something. I don't know, like when they had some big old 90s or 80s show that like was always on there, and then like it finally left and everyone's like, what? But their own original stuff, no, they want you to like engage with it right away and then move on to the next big thing. And like as Hubert, he's not here, but he loves to point out this type of model, this like binge viewing and consumption results in like people moving on too quickly from the conversation, so things aren't as memorable. Things don't have a time to take root in your mind and become like as embedded in culture. Very few things do. Only a handful, I think, of like shows are really even that memorable. And how many like ones that came out that were huge hits at the like maybe initially, but like have long been forgotten because like they moved on from them. It's like you have like Stranger Things, Squid Game, and like I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of like other ones. It's like they don't have too many that stick around.
They don't
in the public conscious.
Many things on Netflix don't seem to have legs, and they don't seem to structure things around that. They don't want you to find Dark from a few years ago, even though it's one of the best TV shows of all time.
That's a good one.
It's just crazy.
Even their movies, like you forget about them, like Red or Red. I don't even know. Was it Red or Red One? I don't remember what it is. There's like a Santa Claus one.
There's Red One. That's a Santa Claus one, and then Red Notice maybe was the other. I never saw either of those.
I don't know. Like they have these things. The one with Will Smith that I only remember. They said it was like their biggest, most viewed movie. I can't remember the name of it. No, the one with like an alien cop in him or something.
Oh, Bright?
Written
by that weird bad man.
But they made a big deal, and it's like, now where's that? What? I mean, even before anything, like a few weeks later, it's like it's just gone. And I get it. Oh, mobile gaming, like it's meant to be quick. It's meant to be disposable. It's meant to just like, get your quick fix and move on. It keeps them on Netflix, even when they thought it'd be like something shorter than a movie episode. But like, even if you have short play sessions, people want like some kind of investment in a game. Like even like mobile gacha gaming. Oh, it's meant to be played really quickly. But like the most popular ones that you're working towards stuff constantly, I don't think any of their mobile games on Netflix were ever really offering that or anything near that level of like engagement value.
It's weird that, and I hate myself for even saying this, but maybe this is what they're after. Like maybe they envision a world where you're watching some Netflix thing on your TV, which reportedly has, writing set up for second screen viewership, right? Where it's like people keep repeating things, keep saying the premise of scenes over and over again because you're not really paying attention. Maybe the world they envision is you're on Netflix on your TV watching that trash, and then you're on Netflix on your phone playing their half-mind games. So you're on Netflix on two different devices. Maybe that's what they're trying to get. Like I don't know. But then you'd think they would put you think they would put like Candy Crush or something on their phone.
Well,
app.
The thing about the last thing I'll say about this in terms of like games being opportunity, they did have a thing with Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
We talked. They have the upcoming reveal.
Right.
On
for
Netflix.
6 hours of exclusivity.
They had the remake trilogy or remaster trilogy came out on Netflix as well. Who knows what else they're doing? So they maybe they just want bigger things. Maybe these studios are just too small for them, and they want. They see the investment, opportunities with bigger studios, with bigger IPs, maybe. That might be their thinking.
Be creative with it. Be interesting with it, right? Like, if you have this deal with GTA, get, like, a GTA RP server to make, like, an ongoing reality show within GTA Online, right? And put it on Netflix. Make it, like, The Real Housewives of San Andreas or whatever. And like That's fun. Like, that's a crazy idea. Like, do that. Do something fun and interesting with it. I don't know. Like, if you want game tie-in stuff and content you can just shovel out of the factory, have a fun machinima made in GTA Online. That'd be sick. I should pitch this to them.
Rockstar might have said no. They might have been like, well, yeah, we don't want that.
I wonder if they're going to have a GTA show.
Yeah, like Rockstar might be thinking bigger. They're like, no, that's like 20 years ago shit. We don't want that. We want like something bigger budget.
The world should be fun, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we should have weird, fun, dumb stuff.
Yes.
For those curious, Netflix acquired Night School Studio in 2021, and Moonlot, which is a Helsinki-based studio, was founded in 2022. So neither of these is even that old. Yeah. This was all during the, I guess, COVID buying spree where everyone was acquiring everyone, and now they're just firing everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, heavens. Okay. Let's wrap up the news segment of the podcast with some nice, fun, good numbers. The numbers, Mason. Big Walk has sold more than 1 million copies, so that's great. And that was from a few days ago. I might have even done more now. I don't know. And then
keep going up.
I love Big Walk so much. Ooh-wee. So far, Spider-Man 2 has sold another 316,000 copies since Brand New Day hit cinemas on the 30th of July, generating $11 million plus across PS5 and Steam in just under 2 weeks. We actually have, I think I included it. We have a question about this kind of stuff too. Movies making you want to play games later. And then Alan Wake 2 lifetime sales have exceeded 3 million, and Control Resonant has 1.5 million wish lists across all platforms. So that's good. Games are doing okay sometimes.
I think after... I think they need Control. There's some... we're a little worried that Control Resonant needs to do...
I think it needs to do very well.
Decently after... Crossfire, what was their multiplayer game called again?
Yeah. It was like a single player. Wasn't it the single player variant of the multiplayer game Crossfire?
Yeah.
Which is like huge in Korea, but then nobody played the single player one.
Whatever their universe, their control universe
FBC
game.
Firebreak did.
Thank you. I was like, I knew it wasn't that. I'm not remembering the real damn name, but thank you. Firebreak, yes.
Yeah, Firebreak.
Yeah, after that misfire, I think they... Sorry, no pun. Because I know Alan... And people were like, did Alan Wake 2 do well enough? Was 3 million enough?
That's the funny thing is, like, you hear these numbers like 3 million or whatever, and then you hear this and that and the other thing about various things. And it's like, for Big Walk, I'm like, okay, 1 million is good. For Macha Chameleon or whatever, where... it's done however many million copies they sold. I'm like, that's fantastic. 2 people made that game. That's insane. But then for a company like Remedy, I like the mid-sized companies. Like if I heard that Madden came out and did 3 million copies, I'd be like, oh no. Not that I give a shit, but like, that would be bad. So it's like for a company the size of Remedy, I'm like, is 3 million good or good enough? Or not good. I don't really know.
Yeah, because this was an update. Because I know, and it was mentioned in chat, Ray Rappy reminded us that the last time they spoke about Alan Wake 2, they said it had broken even. Okay. So I wonder if this updated sales, how far that pushes it. Like, is it still in the break-even range? Is it finally seeing some, profits from it? But we talked about this in the past, but, a multiplayer-focused game is not cheap. It's a big risk, and generally you need funds usually it's safer when you have other games and other projects that can support and cushion the blow if that falls through. And with Remedy, it's kind of like, do they really have enough wiggle room? Yeah. Or is it now, as we alluded to, is it putting a lot of pressure? Perhaps impossible task, putting an impossible task on Control Resonant to hit a sales expectation to kind of bail them out. We don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope it does well. If you remember back to our SGF coverage, Huber and I played 90 minutes of Control Resonant, and we both really liked it. So I'm looking forward to it. Comes out in a little over a month. Very excited for that. We shall see. Boom. Whoops. We've got more to come, but if you've been enjoying the show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe and ring the bell on YouTube. It helps us and you stay connected. Also, if you would like to sponsor, or your company would like to sponsor this podcast, put your name right here in this space. Get in touch. You can email us at info@easyallies.com, and we will get you all the details. Our rates are very fair. In fact, we give fans and supporters and patrons of the show criminally low rates. So, yeah, we would love to have you advertise here. Boom. And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you so much. All right, time for my one thing. Don, do you have one thing?
Well, Damiani may be interested in this. My one thing, I've been eating chicken at Del Taco. Damiani, are you aware of the chicken menu that Del Taco has?
I mean, I live in a state where Del Taco doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
so
get fucked.
I'm not up on the Del Taco menu.
What a reality.
Didn't they have like chicken tenders or some nuggets or something?
They've got
in the past?
tender. They've got all kinds of chicken street tacos. They've got broiled chicken. You can get a whole, just like basically Popeyes. You can get a whole
Wait,
like
are they going like El Pollo Loco
Yeah,
style?
you can get a rotisserie chicken now.
Okay.
I don't know if this is just an experimental, because it's at the one location I go to that has like the full chicken menu, and the other one only has a couple of items. So I've been eating rotisserie chickens from Del Taco. That's been my one thing.
Is Del Taco the one that puts sour cream on everything, or is that Baja Fresh?
They've got a special kind of like white sauce. I don't know what it is.
Let me ask.
It's delicious.
I took a bite into one of those and I was like,
good.
what's this?
Ooh, yeah, I'm not.
It's so good. The chicken sauce. It's so good.
No sour cream. It's fine with other stuff, but it's the only topping on something. I'm not a fan
I don't know
of sour cream.
what is it though. Do you know what it is, Damiani? It's a weird sauce. It's a special
Sour
sauce.
cream?
No, it's not. It has
It's
a
just
special
sour cream.
I don't know what garlic lime. I don't know. Anyway, Don, I want to ask you: is the name of this menu the Del Dorado chicken menu?
Oh, that must be it. That's
Dorado.
awesome. I didn't know that was the name of it. I got to get a T-shirt. I wonder if they sell T-shirts that say
You gotta
Del
get
Dorado.
it. We could probably make
Del
one.
Dorado chicken menu.
So they had chicken tenders forever, the three-piece chicken tenders. They definitely had that. I always used to say Del Taco had one of my favorite just regular cheeseburgers there. Like their
cheeseburger's good.
were pretty good. They were one of my go-to things before everything got out of hand and price-wise. And I still think they have one of the best crinkle cut fries out there.
Their crinkle cut fries are yummy.
They put Raising Cane's fries to shame. I would say they make Raising Cane's fries feel like In-N-Out's fries, which are like some of the worst fries on earth.
I've heard that In-N-Out's fries are horrible.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
I've softened to them over the years, but anyway.
It's because they cut them straight into the fryer or something. That's what people tell me.
They're
I can't
prepared
eat literally
extremely
anything
fresh
now.
You
or
need to add
something like
salt.
that.
You need to add a lot
But
of
you know
Can't
what?
eat
So
anything
are
at In-N-Out.
Five Guys fries. They get their potatoes directly from Idaho every week, and they're like in there every week. And I would say Five Guys fries taste way better than fucking In-N-Out's fries.
Yeah.
But you're paying 10 times the price. But I guess that's probably why.
Hell yeah. My one thing is I saw Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, and I liked it.
Ooh.
It's a fun movie by the person who made I Saw the TV Glow. It's got Gillian Anderson and Hannah Einbinder in it.
Oh.
Fun gay ass fucking horror weird like love letter to slasher movies. Loved it. I'm not jealous at all. Damiani, what's your one thing?
As I said, I'm taking a break from One Piece.
He has forsaken One Piece, Jack.
Well, it's because I caught up,
It's
and
weekly now,
new
you can't
episodes
handle it.
like once a week, and I don't really want to do that. So to reiterate, I'm taking a break until I'm in the Elbath arc. When that ends, I will start at the beginning of Elbath again and rewatch it. And every time a new arc is done, I will do that. And when someone can definitively prove they are literally like in the final arc, like there's nothing else coming after it, this is it, I will go to weekly then so I don't get spoiled on major shit. But like, I don't want to do that till like we're really close to the end. Like I watch too much of the show as a binge, and like it's driving me insane to switch gears so dramatically right now. It's like, Holy shit! No, like cannot do that. And so that's where we are with One Piece. Sorry, no. See me in 20 years.
Yeah,
probably. That's my fear. I was like, no, I went too fast. I need to slow down. Nope. But next year, February, the One Piece, the redo of the first arc. I will watch that for sure. That looks pretty nice. That'll be a nice way to refresh the opening.
So that was what. So that was what you're not doing. Do you have something?
Well, I think that's really it, because like I forgot I have to do this each week, and I'm like, so released a One Piece. I'm like, shit.
I forgot I have to do that.
I mean,
you don't have to
still,
do anything.
I'm still watching. Yeah, I'm still doing my rewatch at House, but like with the recent news with Hugh Laurie, like I don't really want to give it a shot or anything like that.
That's a fucking.
I'm just doing it behind the scenes. I'm kind of farring it. Like it is what it is. I'll finish it, but like it's gonna sour and really taint my freaking view of that show going forward. So yeah. I mean, hopefully he changes his viewpoint, but you know, he's pretty up there in age, so don't know if that's going to happen, sadly.
It's a bummer. Old people who are in their sheltered little things, who don't get the other side of an argument, who just hear things from a hateful monster, like, they're going to have weird wrong takes.
It makes, even though he's playing a character, does make some of the things, because I'll just say this as well. Dr. House as a character, the time it was made, it is still incredibly like homophobic, transphobic.
He's kind of a bad man, yeah.
He's meant to be a bad person. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, that's the point. And like, he does genuinely care about his patients. The character again, House.
I think he cares about the puzzle of
he cares about the puzzle, but like
patient.
he does have humanity to him in certain episodes. They show he does truly actually care about people. He is an absolute fucking asshole and crosses like every ism you could throw him on a checkbox list for him. Yeah. And like it's like the same thing. It's like South Park with Cartman. It's like he makes all the ism jokes and like ha because we make fun of everybody. That's kind of like House's character as well. And it's like I see where it's basically libertarian. It's like he's a libertarian
wet dream for sure. All right, let's talk about games. We got two this week. Quick shout out. I'll start here with Corsair Cove. I played a couple hours of this one, maybe 3 hours. I got to the point where it was like, now you're on your own. You can do whatever you want. And then I promptly sent one of my captains, my favorite captain, out on a quest, and she died.
And then my captain.
Yeah. And then I tried to reload and autosave because I forgot to be saving. And then the game was just frozen and fucked up. So I think I fucked up my save.
Oh, no.
And now that's my only save. So if I load the game, it just broke. It's just broken.
Oh, no.
So I think I'll have to start over with just a sandbox or something. But this game is really cool. It's it starts off, you are a band of pirates who have been captured by this Spanish pirate hunter named Amara. And you escape her ship because one of you smuggled an explosive aboard. And then you wash up in this cove. And if you're watching the footage, you can see the kind of, it's like a cliffside kind of, not a lot of stuff on the ground, but it's kind of this cool bay with beautiful cliffs. And so the solution is you build up onto the cliffs. And so it has my favorite thing, bridges. I love like treehouse vibes with wooden bridges across. Ever since Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Myst, I have had a lifelong dream of getting together with a bunch of my friends and building a treehouse village. And I literally would love to do that someday. Hopefully, knock on wood, I want to do that actually. But this lets you kind of do that with a pirate theme on it. So yeah, it's kind of a management city builder, and I enjoyed it. I was bummed that my save got fucked up, but that was user error. That was, I think, my fault, not the game's, because I didn't think the game expected you to load in to the middle of a sentence on a tutorial after you finish the tutorial. I don't know. Well, patch it either way, but so you can build buildings. You have to build your standard lumberjacks and sawmills and all that kind of stuff, but you have to connect all the buildings together and make sure that their connections stay good. And then you can make more efficient connections. You can unlock stuff like zip ties or zip lines, and like kind of pulley systems to like move goods back and forth without having to have a runner run things over to that other area. And then you can build ships and send out captains in the ships, and you have to crew the ships with people from your thing. So like I kept running out of guys. I had to do stuff to get more guys. You send them out to kind of explore and do little missions and stuff like that. And then it has kind of a few different victory conditions. So you can win through sort of like Civ, where you can win through like might or diplomacy or whatever. This one has like an exploration one, a diplomacy one, or a economics kind of one, and then like a piracy military one. Looks really cool. Yeah. Don, you were kind of interested in this one. You played a demo maybe 100 years ago, but
Pirates, Privateers.
Yeah, I thought I did think I tried the demo or something, but it's fun. It looks beautiful. The thing that gets me about these kind of games, as with any good sim game where you love, yeah. What's the sewer system like?
I think they're just shitting, Don.
Do they have buckets? Do they have some kind of bucket system? You're tossing it out the window.
Don.
You toss a.
They just throw it in the open sea.
Chum the water.
That did occur to me, Don, because I was building all of our residency tents kind of in a diamond pattern above each other up the wall, and I was like, I hope they're not just evacuating on top of each other here. But
no, the world is so pretty and everything. I always want. It's like I love this kind of game, but then it's almost like I get tortured by the fact that I can't pop into like a first-person mode or third-person mode and just walk around the like land you're creating.
That would be really fun. That would be really fun.
Just the same way any good SimCity or any like great sim sort of designing game is. I always want to like, once my world gets big, I'm like, oh, now I want to be in it actually.
Yeah.
But this looks neat as heck.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I look forward to playing more of it. Ran pretty well on my aging computer, so that was nice. Yeah. And there are pigs that, in the trailer, they show them flipping a pig onto a seesaw thing, but they're little winks maybe to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, but I thought of Jones, and I thought of you, Don, where there was this guy, he was like drunk by the pirate camp, like tavern thing, with a pig, and they were both like, the guy was like swinging his stein of mead or whatever, and like the pig was like dancing next to him, like they were both drunk off their ass, and I thought that was pretty funny.
So do you actually go on like missions and treasure hunting, and you fight, you like take over little whatever, you pillage towns and everything? Yeah.
So you send out your ships to do different missions, and there are different.
Just auto do it, or is there actually some sort of combat?
Sort of. It's kind of a weird. There's a shot of it somewhere in the trailer here, but the way combat works is anytime you're around an enemy ship or whatever, it's sort of like you can see what the enemy is going to do, and then it has like rolls, like dice rolls, and if they roll it'll do the maximum amount of that thing. So it's like, this will damage your health, your hull on your ship, or this will damage, like, it'll kill some of your crew on the ship or whatever. And then you can choose from like 4 or 5 little options, kind of cards, but like little options of like, okay, I'll do this because it'll protect my crew. Like, and then the better you roll, the better it does. So it's kind of like that sort of a system, which is fine. There's a shot of it there. I didn't have like enough experience with it to really form too big of an opinion on it, but it was kind of like, these are your choices. You have offensive choices and support choices. And I think I just realized right now that's probably why I lost that fight, because I forgot that support choices existed. So I was like, I've got 3 health. How do I heal? And then I was like, dead. Probably I should have done one of the support choices. I forgot you had to click that to switch over. So don't forget about that. But yeah, it's cool. And then you get...
What's going on here?
You get rewards, yeah. So it looks like they fought... I haven't encountered this, but it looks like they went and fought a kraken, Don.
Grilled kraken. That's plenty of food for the banquet. They're eating a kraken.
Yeah, but see, look at that, though. They lost 41...
soldiers,
people,
wow,
and 12 supplies in doing that.
Another feasting on a kraken. That's crazy.
Yeah. But that's a cool thing. You have to maintain kind of what do they call it? Cohesion, like the cohesion of your crew. I guess they're still crew, but like your community. And if the cohesion drops too low, they start like fighting each other. So like, it's part of the tutorial. Your cohesion drops to 0, and everyone starts having a riot. And you zoom in, and like literally all the little guys are just like fist fighting outside all the buildings. They're just like, bah, bah, bah. So it's pretty funny. And then like sometimes they'll have like, if your like ale, grog, whatever production is lower than your burn rate, or high, or the production is lower than the burn rate, they'll start getting nervous about it, and then you can trigger an outrage or whatever. And then you have like 10 minutes of real time to fix that problem, which goes faster if you're playing the game on 3 times speed, which I usually was.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but then if you fix it within that time, then they're like, yay, and then they stop freaking out about it. So that's kind of an interesting way to do that, where it's like you don't even have to run out. It's just like if the systems start to fall behind, they get like nervous about it, and they're like, hey, fix this. Like you have 10 minutes to fix this, or we're gonna riot. Yeah.
Looks
neat game.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Visually very pretty. Yeah. Oh, and you can put up like gun towers, and it shows you where enemies will enter the bay. So you have to like put your gun embankments like with line of sight to the entry points, to the attack points of the ships. So that's kind of cool. Like I imagine eventually, because you move out to various different places on the island, because you have to get like guano and birds and stuff, like different guano, different resources in different parts of the island. So I imagine eventually you can make this whole island into like a big fortress. Pretty sick. Damiani, talk to us about Final Fantasy XIV Switchy Edition.
Yes. Switch 2 version of Final Fantasy XIV is in open beta, I guess. You can technically buy it, but it's like free to play for a month while they're ironing out any issues, which they've already done. And so, yeah, 14's already been out. We don't need to talk a lot about like 14, but I will say this. I spent some time with this. I probably put like maybe like 4 or 5 hours into the Switch 2 version, just messing around. And I have to say, like, it's kind of impressive that it runs okay. I was like, wow, like, I thought this was going to look a lot worse. I mean, when they showed it off at FanFest, NA FanFest, they held up the handheld version and showed a little bit of it. It runs so in handheld mode. It's a lower resolution. It's kind of capped at 30 frames in handheld mode. When it's docked, you can uncap the frame rate, but like you can lock it to 30 or you can uncap it. It really depends on you don't have a lot of settings you can change. There's very few graphical settings you can even adjust. Like you can I think water reflections, animations, and then like how many characters can load on screen objects. The more you turn those down, the better it's going to be. I went in and tinkered with it a bit to get it to a point where like it was constantly running around like I didn't need to check the run it cap at 30 because originally I did that because the game was just like all over the place with its frame rate, and it was like coming from PC. I was like, oof, this is a little too hard to digest for me. Like, is there anything we can get? Like, can we just get like a locked frame rate? So I did that, and it was much improved. But after I made some adjustments, because I was reminded because I'm on a high-end PC. I was like, oh yeah, objects and like draw distance, like I can adjust all that stuff. Let me scale that down because the graphic setting is like very bare bones. There's like 6 options in there on the Switch 2 version compared to the PC version. This has like a giant thing of things you can adjust. Mm. So I was like, that's it? Damn, like that's not a lot to adjust, but there's more hidden in other areas. So I'd suggest looking up a video guide how to make Switch 2 adjustments to optimize the performance. After all that's said and done, as you can see from the footage, like this is kind of impressive.
Yeah, it looks all right.
I know they've had it running on like Steam Deck, or you can get it like on a ROG Ally. I know we hate saying ROG, but like ROG Ally.
The ROG.
Any of the handheld platforms that support it. But this might be like one of the stronger platforms to play it on. I mean, people were memeing on it, but like remember, it's Switch 2, not Switch 1. It is more powerful than the PS4, and this game is still supported on PlayStation 4.
Oh.
So obviously, like it was going to run better than a PS4 version at least. So I will say that. Now, who wants to play this? This is the big question. So there's some caveats here. Performance-wise, it is noticeable downgrade to me from PS5 and PC, but still still pretty impressive. Things to keep in mind. This is a separate subscription than
what?
your other. So
I was going to ask about this. If you, as a subscriber, can just jump in.
Let me. I'll put it as succinctly as I can. If you want to play on PlayStation 5, PS4, Windows, Mac, or Steam, you must buy each of those versions individually, like a one-time license fee, and then but your monthly subscription, works for all of those versions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can play it on like an Xbox as well. Like you subscribe to one of those, and you have access to all of those. If you want to play another platform, you have to pay like a one-time license fee. You basically have to buy the game.
But you as someone who subscribes to this, you can play it on any platform that you own it on.
Yeah, I just have to if I want to play on Xbox, I don't. But like if I wanted to, all I had to do is pay like I think it's $30 for like the Final Fantasy license or whatever the new there's whatever. It's a one-time price you pay, and then my subscription that I pay monthly already carries over to that. Right. You're not charging me multiple times for each version of the game. It's one monthly subscription that gives you access to all those as long as you've bought a license for each version. Switch 2.
Do you have to buy the game in 14 on PC, or is it?
Yeah. So there's like so how it works is currently there's a free trial. So if you're a new player coming to Final Fantasy XIV right now, you don't have to pay anything for quite a while.
Okay.
You can go download the game, create a new character, and have a free account that will let you play all the way through the expansion Shadowbringers. So there's a Realm Reborn, the original, like the base game, Heaven's Ward, the first expansion, Stormblood, the second expansion, and then you have Shadowbringers. So you get 4 expansions essentially. Access the 4 chapters of the game. They're like 50 plus hours each, plus all their patches. You get access to all that for free, and you can play. There's no time limit. You can play that for free. Some features are locked out of the free trial version. But like functionally, it's essentially all there. You can like engage with almost all of the game and see if you like it, and it doesn't cost you anything. Once you want to play Endwalker or Beyond, there's only Endwalker and Dawntrail. Those are the newest ones. If you want to play then and play the newest stuff, you have to pay a fee to buy the game. One-time fee, buy the game license. And in the future, anytime a new expansion comes out, you have to buy the expansions as well.
And are you paying a monthly subscription?
Pay a monthly subscription, which there are various rates. Like I think it depends. It's like $11-12 a month.
But you don't have to pay the subscription until you get to end.
Yeah, you don't have to pay the subscription until you get to that point. Once you buy the license, you need a subscription.
That's wild. I didn't realize you could play so much for free.
Yeah, it used to only be a Realm Reborn. It used to be nothing, and then it was a Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward, and then they kept expanding it.
I got up to Heaven's Ward, but I had to pay a monthly fee.
So if you already paid a monthly fee, I believe, if you have an existing account, you still have to. If you come back, you have to pay. If you already bought it and paid, you got to pay. But if you're a new character starting a new character, you don't have to pay till you get to that point. So that sounds like pretty decent. You're gonna know if you like the game or not by that point. And then if you didn't like it, it was just time you invested. You didn't, no money.
If you don't know after several hundred hours, then maybe you don't like it.
So the Switch 2 version. Same thing. You will eventually need to pay a one-time fee to buy the game, and then that'll give you access to the current version of the game. And then eventually you have to buy Evercold, the new upcoming expansion in January. But it requires its own separate subscription. So to play the Switch 2 version, if you already have a subscription to the PC version like me, I have to pay a second subscription fee for the Switch 2 version.
What?
You do not need Nintendo Switch Online membership, so you have to pay Nintendo. You don't have to like a membership to Nintendo. You don't need to buy their stuff. but you have to buy a subscription for the Switch 2 version of Final Fantasy XIV. It has its own currency called like 14 coins. Xbox has the same thing, but Xbox isn't a separate subscription. This has a separate payment format. So if you have an existing subscription, you get half off the Switch 2 subscription.
How generous.
So in a month, if I want to keep playing the Final Fantasy XIV Switch 2 edition, I would have to pony up an additional subscription fee. So if I pay $12 right now, I have to pay an additional $6 a month for a total of $18 a month for access to both. This is where it's gonna it's in the honeymoon period right now. Come back in a month or so when people have to start paying for this legitimately, and we'll see. Now, if you're a new player and you play for the Switch 2 version, you're only getting access to the Switch 2 version. You will not get access to the PC version. You'll have to, same thing. You have to pay another subscription to get access to all other versions as well. But if you just want to play on Switch 2, it's just one subscription.
Is that subscription lower? If you're only playing on Switch?
It's the same price roughly. It's like, so here's the thing. I think it actually might be more.
What the hell?
I have the screen up I have it on my screen right now. So there's two price tiers, entry and standard. This applies to all versions. Entry is, so it's a 30-day billing period, right? So entry is 1,300 coins and 100 coins is $1. So it's $13.
Okay.
And if I go to my PC version, it's $12.99. So it's like 1 cent more.
Yeah.
So it's $12.99 on PC or $13 flat. And if you do the 30 days for the standard, it's $15 on Switch 2 or $14.99 on. So they're about the same price. But if you pay an existing subscription on, like, say, PC or PlayStation, then your additional Switch 2 subscription would go down to either $6.50 or $7.50 depending on which tier.
Why do they have to?
This is Nintendo. This is the cost of getting it on Switch.
But you're paying this to Square
Nintendo's
Enix?
policy is to require, unless you're a free-to-play game, you require a paid game on any kind of paid non-free game on Nintendo Switch 2 with online functionality requires a Nintendo Switch Online membership, that like $50, $60 a year thing or whatever they charge, and then whatever additional fees you pay to that online game. The agreement between Nintendo and Square Enix is that, okay, we're going to waive the Nintendo Switch Online fee, so like it's easier to access. But like it's clear they're charging a separate Switch 2 fee because Nintendo wants their cut. So like this Switch 2 subscription fee is going to cover some kind of like contractual obligation that Square Enix made with the deal for this to come on Switch 2.
Nintendo's getting a piece of this.
So they're getting their money. Yeah, I almost think it might have just been easier to say you require Nintendo Switch Online, but Square Enix I think is also getting we don't know the percentages, but this seems to be a way for both of them to make it work financially. And unfortunately, I think this is going to be like, at the end of the day, this is going to be the biggest hurdle to the success of this version, is just who is this for?
Right.
And to answer that, if you're an existing player like me, the benefits of this, so I'm showing you footage, the clips you're seeing if you're listening, I'm showing clips of a new character running around one of the environments, early game environments in Ulda, in the town. So I'm running around in those environments just to show off like early environments, just to show you how it runs. And like, it's perfectly fine if you're a new player. Let's say you don't have the money for a new PC. Things are getting out of hand. A Switch 2 looks like an awesome buy for you, even compared to like a PlayStation, whatever. So if you just like only own a Switch 2 and you're just only going to own and you're looking for like something like cheap, this is probably for you. And you've just never gotten into Final Fantasy XIV. This is like
you're only subscribing because you're only going to play it.
Yeah, and you're only paying one subscription, so like you're not getting double dipped on
cost.
here. Yeah, it's the same cost. You're not getting ripped off.
And you don't want to have a Nintendo Online, even though it's like
exactly. You don't have to have a Nintendo Switch Online account for this either, so you don't have to pay Nintendo extra. It's literally the same price as you would be paying for the PC version, but you're getting to run it on hardware that costs a fraction of the price. And honestly, in docked mode, for story, if you're just trying to play the story and enjoy this game, this is a perfectly fine way to play it. Like, even if you're a PC player, after like a second hour, it started to feel a little bit normal. Like, I mean, it still could tell is like a lower frame rate, but like I wasn't like freaking out, like, oh my God, this is such low frame rate. But like, no. So for new players who want to jump in at like a cheaper option to jump into Final Fantasy XIV, if you don't have access to like more powerful hardware, this is an audience for you.
And you can still jump in for free until the end game content?
Yes, you can still jump into free all the way to like the end of Shadowbringers, essentially. Like 200 plus hours of the game you could play for free. So like, even if you don't want to pay, you can just play for free for that long and be like, I'm done. I don't want to like play anymore. And like, you could just wait. Eventually they'll probably add all those things in years to the free trial. So like, you could just wait it out probably. I don't know what to say. Like we love to say an incredible value for Game Pass. This is technically an incredible value that you don't have to pay for. So, but if you want to play all the new stuff, then, and this is the only the version that's for you, then sure. For people who already have like active subscriptions on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PC, I would say this is a very niche thing. In terms of like, if you're someone who's on the go a lot and traveling, you could like log in and do like your weeklies or some basic content with no issue whatsoever, especially like on Wi-Fi, on handheld mode. That's if this is like your one game that you like only play, or your game you play the most, I could see this being... And you
don't have a Steam Deck?
Yeah, and you don't have another portable, handheld piece of hardware. You're like a Power 14 user. This might be something to consider. And the fact that like the subscription is half off might, lessen the blow.
Well, you're a Power user. Are you going to do that?
So we were provided... full disclosure, provided a license by Square Enix, provided coins by Square Enix, because I'll be honest, beyond whenever that runs out, I probably do not have the intent to keep playing it on this version, because I do have access to the PC version. Yeah. Specifically, one of the clips in here I put in here, I think we showed a little earlier, is I did some of the new content, the up-to-date content. There's a large-scale field operations battle content with like 72 people in there. Wow. And then like a large-scale dungeon, which can have like up to like, I think 48 people in there. I didn't quite have 48 people in the run I did. But it's more like higher level stuff, which gets a little bit more intense, where you gotta like, things matter more about like timing and like performance a little bit, like high-end rating, stuff like that, where you kind of like need to consider. It's doable, as you see. I was able to do the stuff on here. I would not recommend playing it this way, though, for that type of content. Like if you're on the go a lot, like I had a static member who's on hiatus from us, who's kind of like on retirement, who their work, whatever they did, took them on the road constantly. They were constantly traveling. They brought a laptop with them, and every time our raid days would be planned around their hotel stops, so they could get on hotel Wi-Fi and raid with us. And they did that. So it's like, maybe this is someone like that that's constantly traveling. This
Although
is
getting
for
on hotel
you.
Wi-Fi on a Switch is sometimes kind of annoying.
Yeah, but I honestly like it's again. I would say technically, wow, they got this running on Switch too, especially with the mobile game that's going to be shut down soon. We thought that was probably what was going to come to Switch, was the mobile version of Final Fantasy XIV. But like, they got the full thing running on there. And to be fair, they are still optimizing this. In the first week, this game had atrocious load times. In fact, when you died, there was a thing where it took so long to load that like people were like, it was like doing some weird shit, where people were getting like pretty upset and annoyed. Oh. And they patched it with an emergency maintenance. And some people are reporting that like it loads faster than their PC now. It's pretty close. I think like it's much improved. So like they're still making improvements to it. That's what the whole point of this first month supposedly is for, is to iron out some of the kinks and get it up to like a little bit more to spec with the higher end machines. But I don't think it's going to quite reach those, those levels. But I mean, it could improve more. But like, as I said,
yeah,
I would definitely do some research into like ask what you want out of this game, because if you can afford even a PlayStation 5, I would really say that's like the way to go for this over Switch 2. But if you like, everything's going up in price. And like right now, we haven't had the Switch 2 price raise just yet. So, I mean, if you were like, waiting to do that, this might be the answer for you. So.
And you're not limited to only, this is a silly question, I know, before even asking it, but you're playing with everyone from any system, right?
Yes, it's all crossplay. On Switch 2, I'm playing with everybody.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And again, Switch 2 supports keyboard, mice. I tried out my wireless Logitech shit. It works. The mouse felt like a little, even with wired, it was like a little like laggy or something. They might iron that out.
Mouse con.
Yeah, something like that. They have a virtual mouse as well for the console versions you can activate. So like in that mode, one of your analog sticks becomes the mouse movement. They have pretty good like support for that type of stuff in general.
So many,
but you're playing with everybody. You're not gated off from everyone else.
Someone in chat wanted to know: do you know offhand the file size of the Switch 2 version?
Yeah, it's only 100 and something gigabytes. It go
only
internal
100
storage.
Gigabytes.
I mean, all the expansions and stuff.
No,
that's
I know.
everything. That's everything up the Dawn Trail. It's like, I think, give me a sec. Actually, I can just do it right here because I have my PC on. I'll bring it up real quick. But it was only, I put it on my internal storage. I would highly recommend moving, if you have an SD card, moving as much of your games to the SD card to make space for this on the internal storage. Because that loading faster, is definitely much improved.
Definitely.
Here we go. Sorry, I'm in my Switch. Sorry, 1 sec. Settings, storage, data management, move system data, checking for free space.
I've got some exciting news to report.
Yeah.
This Final Fantasy is the biggest single game on Switch 2 by file size, weighing it at a massive 117.2 gigabytes, nearly half of the console's too. I didn't know you could have a 100 gigabyte game on the Switch 2. This is amazing.
Yeah, the base game, the base everything on there is 108 gigabytes, and there's like a 15 point something patch like 15 point something. So it's like what Dawn said. It's like about 120 gigabytes.
Damn.
If you round up.
That's like
that's for 6.
It's a real video game.
That's like a flight simulator.
Yeah. But I mean,
I'm surprised by this. I expected this to suck out loud.
Way more than that for some reason. I don't know why, but that's Again, you're getting lower. Like the textures are lower resolution. Like it's not going to be as like if you've seen like the graphics overhaul they've been touting for the past like 2 years. You're not really going to see the fruits of that labor on the Switch 2. Like I will say, like on the PC, it looks night and day. Like if you look at footage from 5 years ago versus how the game looks today, like the lighting improvements they've done, like like playing it on PC is the best way to play this game. And for other reasons that I'm not saying that you'll quickly find out when you play Final Fantasy XIV or exposed to it, that there are certain things that can enhance the game. I'll say that much.
Pretty sure he's talking about nude mods, chat.
That you can only know. Well, actually, there are those things, but we'll stay away from them. Don't go near those.
Don't go near them, chat.
Yeah,
be good.
Don't go near them. Don't go towards the light. The PC version.
School, chat.
Yeah.
Winners don't use nude mods.
The things that can work on the PC version will not work on any other version of the game. And so just know that. If you're a WoW player, you know exactly what the heck I'm talking about. So think about WoW and what WoW requires to play it nowadays.
HUD overlays and stuff or whatever.
Exactly. Like, okay, well, I'm being stupid, but like, it's third-party tools. Square Enix hates you. There's a gray area.
There are
they don't endorse them. They don't like them. Actively talking about using them in game is could get you in trouble. And so, like,
Easy Allies and Damiani do not endorse the use of third-party tools in 14. There you go. We're covered.
At your own risk.
We're covered.
But there are a lot of basic quality of life stuff that are only obtainable through them. But to be fair, Square Enix does keep track of them, and they've been adding features that were originally mods, like bubble text. They like chat bubbles. Yeah. People love those, and everyone's like, "Why don't we have them?" Then Square Enix added them, and so
you live long enough to become a third part to die. You die as a third party mod, or you live long enough to become an in-game feature, or something to that effect.
One last benefit of the Switch 2 version: It might be a bug. It might be an upcoming feature in Evercold. But one of the playable races, the Aura, the dragon race, they have horns. They have a big update plan in Evercold about how you're going to be able to customize their horns, but it's just like their physical appearance. But in the Switch 2 version right now, apparently you can change the color of your horns, which isn't possible in any other version right now.
Hey-o.
And so everyone's going nuts that you can do it on Switch 2. So that might be an incentive for you if you care. Character customization stuff. Switch 2 has more features right now than the other versions officially.
That's hilarious. All right, thank you for that, Damiani. Surprisingly cool looking. Reasonable if you have a Switch 2. Probably don't need to pay for it if you don't have a Switch 2.
Yeah.
If you already have it on PC, you're fine. Get a Rogali, get a Steam Deck, whatever. All right, time for love and respect. Love and respect.
Love and respect.
Nice. First up from Jerry Young. Hi, allies. Curious if you had times when other forms of media have brought you back to a game. All the new games coming out, and instead of getting into those, I'm 30 hours into Spider-Man 2 for the third time after watching the new movie. Thought I was going to swing around for a bit, but nope, full playthrough. Thanks for all you do. So the question is, are other games or other movies making you want to come back into games? I've had this with Mad Max. I've wanted to play that Mad Max game every time I watch a Mad Max movie, but then I don't because I don't have it. And I heard that it's like hard to get or hard to mod, something like that. Oh yeah, that's what it was. I bought it on Steam or whatever, and then I was looking for mods to have a girl Mad Max. But my friend Jack, who looked into this, is like, that game is like weirdly impossible to mod, apparently. So there's that one. You got any?
I can't think of any.
For me, it's like funny because, I don't usually get that kind of synergy happening between movies and games, except, or entertainment and games, except it really happens strongly with sports, the sports genre.
Oh.
For some reason, every football season, preseason begins, I start getting this like deranged craving again to dip into Madden. Anytime there's like a big exciting sport, the Olympics, suddenly I want to be playing Olympics, like ski jumping games in the Winter Olympics and weird stuff like that.
I get that with snowboarding games too, from the Olympics.
Yeah, oftentimes when I watching soccer, I was like, I want to play some soccer. I was playing.
You got back into Rocket League.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't even think of that too. So I don't know why, but for sure, sports, like watching sports, gets me wanting to actually participate.
It's the closest thing we can do to actually playing.
The closest way I can come to experiencing an athletic maneuver.
It was Synergy because they came out roughly the same time. But when Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the movie came out, the Ubisoft published game, the side-scrolling beat 'em up, that's amazing. With the Amana, oh my god. Music by
Anamanaguchi.
Anamanaguchi. I'm getting old. I used to be able to say that word so easily. Now I can't say it anymore.
I bought an iced tea for the caffeine, and it expired in 2025, March. So I was like, I didn't drink it.
I know the song, Another Winter. The song from the first stage is so freaking good. And they had like a different version of it that like got released. That was pretty awesome. Anyway, they both kind of came out roughly like the same time. And I remember like seeing the movie and being like, when the game, I was like, oh man, I'm totally going to play this game. Because like movies like more like, I think a game might be more my style for Scott Pilgrim to enjoy it.
I wonder, I'm trying to think if this ever happens to me the other way. Like playing a game makes me want to watch a movie. Did that happen to you with the Terminator game, Don? Someone in chat was mentioning that Terminator game.
Oh, yeah, it kind of did, actually. Or you know what's funny, actually, is whenever we do any of the, what's it called? The horror games, the group co-op horror.
Oh, Dark Pictures.
Those kind of put me in the mood to be like watching, like, I think almost every time we've done that, I've kind of like watched a few just B horror movies around that time.
Watched a Scream, or I Know What You Did Last Summer or something, Yeah, fully.
Oh, yeah.
Throw on The Faculty.
The news
yeah,
today,
that's
we?
a good one.
What happened?
Dark Pictures, Supermassive Games, laying off 75 staff.
Oh, fuck.
Dang it.
I didn't see that. Shit.
Yeah, it was 2 days ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
I like Dark Pictures games.
I know, me too.
Hey, good news then, for real quick numbers. Updated global sales. We talked about it last week, but Pokemon Pocopia, see, I can't speak anymore, has surpassed 5 million copies. So it's going up and up and up further.
I was so worried about Pokemon.
I know. Well, Pocopia actually, until it released and became a hit, there was like some... I was like, it might not sell that well. We'll see if it did.
That's a good ass game. I haven't tried the expansion yet.
Oh yeah, the underwater stuff.
Yeah, I gotta try it. Thanks, Jerry. Next up from Mistwalker, an appropriate question from Mistwalker here. Hello, allies. It's always sad when a game gets canceled, but what about a game that no one knew about getting canceled? I'm sure Isla has heard of this. I have. But Cyan, creators of Myst, recently showed off a trailer for a game that they were shopping around for a publisher, codenamed Project Anglerfish, a new game taking place in the Myst universe. I am so sad about this. Unfortunately, they weren't able to find someone to help with the game, and now it is, quote, no longer in active development. In recent years, games that were concepts or were in very early stages of development have been given a spotlight by sites like Did You Know Gaming and Unseen64. Games like Legend of Zelda, a Legend of Zelda game where you play as Sheik, created by Retro Studios, Silent Hill Cold Heart by Climax Studios, and a game I feel from Dawn, a wave race game on the Wii. What are some games that were canceled before even being announced that the Allies are bummed to find out they were in the pipeline but didn't make it to the finish line? Love and respect. Can you think of any?
This is such a hyper-specific question that I'm actually going to have to look up.
Yeah.
Games canceled before they were announced.
I think about StarCraft Ghost.
Even like, I think that
was announced.
Was known though.
Yeah, that was announced.
Yeah, and like even Metroid Dread, like it was never formal. Like it was listed, but like never had like an announcement trailer or anything. Like, it was official, but like. Yeah. It just vanished and like went to development hell and like this is one I feel like I need freaking like examples or like because like so much stuff comes out like because like I go to the ones like things that were announced that were canceled but like we never saw anything significant outside of like an initial trailer like Scalebound. It's like cool, there was like the reveal and some like potentially gameplay and then never happened again and we never saw it again. It was
There's a whole website
canceled.
called Games That Weren't. Preserving canceled, unreleased, and lost video games since 1999. Crazy.
Out of
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was saying the difficulty. Like, I'm even on Unseen64 right now trying to find, like, going through beta games, and it's like,
Yeah, I have a lot of memory back when I was a little kid and I had an Atari Jaguar. Out of all the systems, that was one that had because you're so starved for games. It was like such a trickle of games that were coming out for that system. That like any rumor, were looking in the rumor, section of the magazines where they'd be like talking about like rumored announcements of games and stuff that like not even confirmed. You'd just be like so excited to hear about it, and like none of them would ever come to fruition. But the biggest one was Black Ice White Noise, which is a well-known canceled game that was starting to be in development. It was basically like Cyberpunk for the Atari Jaguar.
Whoa.
And it was like going to be amazing. And it's a long story, but his files are now like accessible, so you can kind of see like what they were doing with it and stuff like that, which is pretty cool years later. But like Atari Jaguar was like the ultimate heartbreaker of just like so many games rumored to be coming and sequels that never came around.
Yeah, like there are plenty. Like Chad was talking about Deep Down, but it's like that was announced and never happened. This is harder because it's like there are probably thousands of these that we've just never heard of. Like I know some friends of mine who are devs that I won't say, but like games that they were working on that got shut down internally and they were all put onto different stuff. That happens frequently,
Yeah.
But yeah,
like
who knows?
Like was it Donkey Kong Racing, not Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong Racing, which was supposed to be for GameCube, but like it never came out. What was it? It was a canceled game for the GameCube. What was its history? It was announced at E3 2001. So I was like, there was a trailer for it. There was footage. Like, it looked like a follow-up to Diddy Kong Racing. But, like, that was officially announced. But then, like, it just vanished, and we never saw it again. Yeah. Dude, there's so many beta games. Like, like Unseen 64, there's like drop downs for each platform, and there's like 30 plus pages of. It's like, there's a lot, and they're incredible. Shoot. As I said, I wish I just had like some thrown at me, and I could say if like like which one was which. Because it feels like it's very rare we get a game that. Because like even games that weren't officially announced, there's like usually like were rumored to have existed. So it's like so hard to like for one. I feel like you could. I'm probably wrong, but like if they're like big enough ones that you can count on more than like both your hands, I'd be like impressed. You know, there's more than like 10 that exist.
Moobot's acting weird, I think. Yeah, it's crazy how many like different ones that we'll just never know about. Like maybe the greatest game of all time was never announced. Tough to think of examples though. Yeah. Fede, thank you, Mistwalker. I'm sad about that Cyan one. They had put out a video and it looks so good.
Well, there's the one with Sheik, and there was also like a Zelda Tactics game that was canceled as well that we never called Hyrule. Sorry, I was just watching it the other day, but then Did You Know Gaming got into a little hot water with one of their more recent videos, so I was like, oh, yeah. they were trying to play the YouTube game of engagement thumbnails and did the Gunpei Yokoi conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's complete bullshit. It was game facts, stupid little kids making up rumors. Like when I was a kid, it was a stupid thing. And their video is like debunking it, but their thumbnail and everything was about clickbait engagement. I was like, oof, 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 oof. I was like, it was not a good look, but they corrected it, thankfully.
Beep boop beep. Beep boop beep boop boop boop. Okay, next up, Fede Crow. Hi, allies. I listened to you talking about the disappointing launch for the Switch 2, and I just have to say, what are we talking about?
Switch Here we go,
2,
Don.
Switch 2 and Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Pokemon Legends, Zeta A, Metroid Prime 4, Pokopia, Tomodachi Life, and Star Fox during its launch year. Take out the Breath of the Wild and Odyssey from Switch 1 launch year, and how many games are comparable to these? Are we judging the Switch 2 launch just because it didn't have a mainline Mario or Zelda?
This is all Dawn.
No, I would say not. Yeah, go ahead, Damiani. What?
I was going to say, I made my argument, like, was it last week or 2 weeks ago when we got into this argument. I've made my case, but Dawn, you're getting cross-examined here. So
I would say this, not based on just that it doesn't have a Mario and Zelda in launch. It's based on this. It's based on not that there's no games that exist, as you listed out a few here that have been released as Switch 2 titles. It's just that all these examples, I would say, except perhaps, Donkey Kong Bonanza is the only one I would really give a little bit of an exception to. These all just don't feel like system launch games and then like next generation for that system games in any way. They just all feel like pro version. These are the kind of live games we'd be expecting them to be releasing if they just had like the pro version of the Switch out, which is what it is. Right? So I don't know. There's nothing technically dazzling that any of these games are doing in the way you'd expect like a new system game to do, or that new system games always have done in the past. Like Mario Kart World is such a just iteration on the last one. The Pokemon games are great, I guess, entertaining, but they're just new Pokemon games. That's all they are. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure some of this has to do with tastes, and maybe some of these games they've launched here in this lineup you're showing here like necessarily don't have high appeal to me. But I also just feel like they're not exciting, and they're not doing anything that's like,
some of these games did start as Switch games, like Prime 4.
Well, that's the other. That's why they're not exciting, because it's like it was. Yeah. And then the ultimate product that came out, Damiani, doesn't feel like suddenly we're like, oh, this is what we're waiting for. Oh, and this is the reason they're releasing it on Switch too. It's like the only thing that's impressive is like, oh, it's running normally. Oh, it has a stable frame rate. Oh, it looks like clean 1080p graphics. It's like, this is 4K, what we're excited about for the Switch 2.
Big deal.
That's what we would have been excited about for the Switch Pro. So this is a Switch Pro, and it was delayed to now, and it is a manipulated market space. But it doesn't mean Nintendo's not doing good, and doesn't mean there aren't fun games to play. It's just this is like it's a total con that this is a next generation system.
And to be fair, Donkey Kong Bonanza, to my point, Donkey Kong Bonanza, they wanted to make it on Switch, but it was held back by the technical limitations of the Switch. That game was not possible on the Switch. They had to move it to Switch 2 hardware. And that's what I'm saying. Switch 2, it's like all these things that were in development, including Donkey Kong, they just feel and look like Switch, including the Switch 2 itself. You're like, this is the same form factor. Exactly. So everything about it is just like, it's a delayed Pro that was done for financial reasons, and it's like, that's fine, but it's just disappointing. The Switch one was
it's disappointing not because there's not games. It's like, yeah, there's a couple.
2017 to 2025, Dawn. That's like 8 years of it being the predominant console for Nintendo. Nintendo previously, before that, were doing every 5 years or even shorter brand new, not refreshes, brand new hardware. So this was like Nintendo. The Switch got, because of its success, they supported that thing for a long time. So I feel like everyone should have got their value out of the Switch. Like, it wasn't like shortchanged. It wasn't like killed, but it's not even technically dead. It's still selling like 500,000 units every freaking quarter or something. It got its time, and it got a long time of support and still getting support. As for the other thing about Switch Pro, like, I'm guilty. Like, I did every freaking Switch Pro rumor I covered, back in the past. But the truth of the matter is, we don't know what the Switch Pro was ever really going to be, because information got conflated. Like the OLED model, people are saying that was a Switch Pro, but it's like, no, they just made a better screen for it.
Right, exactly.
But like, we don't know how powerful the Switch Pro, if it even existed, what it would have been. And I highly doubt at any point in the window for the Switch Pro, when we all thought it was going to happen, would be anywhere near as powerful as the Switch 2.
Really?
I think it would have been a very.
Isn't the Switch 2 less powerful than the other current gen systems, right? Like PS5.
It's less powerful than PS5 and an Xbox.
So you're telling me you don't think the next generation Nintendo console?
It's between a PS4
They're never in the
Pro
power
and
game,
an Xbox
Don. They
Series
never play
S.
the power game.
Yeah.
That's true, but usually when it's the next
it's a
generation
hybrid.
system,
But that's not a fair comparison. You have to compare it to like a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally.
Compare it to handhelds too, Don.
Yeah.
Like a Steam Deck and other handhelds that can do that can also dock.
I just think we were all assuming a Pro model would be a lot closer to what the Switch 2 is.
I think only you were
and we were all assuming the next generation Nintendo console would at bare minimum be more powerful. Even if it was barely more powerful, like they usually are, it would at least be somewhat of a leap up. Or it would have had some kind of innovative thing like Nintendo always does, that it was like not just literally the exact same console. You know what I'm saying?
No, innovation, I think that you can argue that. A lot of people did argue about the Switch 2 playing safe.
Exactly.
I think from a business perspective, it made sense. This is the
their
one time it
was
probably
money.
better not to innovate. Your previous point about price or power, since the GameCube, from beyond the GameCube era forward, Nintendo has never tried to win the power race under the hood.
But at least
they never have tried to do that. So even trying to reasonably expect that's like kind of like on you
not from the next generation.
Why would you expect
but Damiani,
that?
Even though, yes, you're right. Out of each generation, they were always the least powerful console.
Yes.
However, in the next generation, weren't they at least leaping out of the previous generation, even if it was
They are more powerful. So this is the problem. Nintendo comes out in between and gets lumped into the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Switch 2 is part of the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 generation.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
They're
coming out
behind
after.
by half a gen.
But it's more powerful than the previous generation, like anything in the previous generation. So like it is next gen. It's just like on the lowest end of current gen. Like, and that's how it's been that way for, since Wii. Like, Wii was the least powerful of the 360, PS3. Wii U was the least powerful of, like, PS4 and Xbox One. And they're the handhelds that has been in their own universe until recently, where everyone else is starting to release handhelds to compete with Switch. So that's, like, a whole different thing. But... yeah, they've never been in like it's been since the GameCube is the last time they tried to win it that way. Now I will say, Dawn, in an alternate reality, if a Switch Pro had come out and the Switch 2 is exactly how it is, your thing would probably be amplified by or shared by more people, your opinion. Because people would be like, oh, the Switch 2 is less impressive because we got a Switch Pro. Be like, that's not a big jump from Switch Pro to this. But I will say from Switch to Switch 2, as I said last time, just looking at Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, just seeing those games run at lock 60 frames at like that fidelity, it's like it's a big deal, even for that.
All
like
right, closing
the
arguments.
games could finally.
We had this argument already last week.
I rested my case.
You rest your case, okay? All right, let's play a game from Mikey Mizek Novak. Pew pew pew. Conclusive exclusive. Don, you gotta play this too because there's only 3 of us. So
Okay,
don't look at the rundown.
I'm not looking.
A short but bittersweet game about Sony platform exclusives. Below is a list with generations of PlayStations with a proposed number of released exclusives for that system. The panel must guess if the given number is higher or lower than the actual number of system exclusives, not counting ports. And this is based on information from Wikipedia, so who knows.
Okay.
The PS1, 451 exclusives. Is that too high or too low?
That seems like a lot, but
That
I have
seems
nothing to
maybe
base
too
this
high?
off of. Yeah, I have nothing to base it off of, but that seems like a huge number.
Wait, exclusive? Like, so the 451 games are exclusive to PS1?
This is PS1.
This is a proposed number. You have to say, is this...
So
is
how many
this-
years was PS1 dominant for
Right.
about? We should guess. That way we'll be able to see how many average per year.
So is the
think
real
that's
number of exclusives higher or lower than this?
I would say lower.
I think I think the real number is lower than that.
The real answer is higher. It's 472 exclusives.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
crazy how
That's
high these are.
so many.
I didn't know that.
How does that
I didn't-
compare to
Wait.
modern systems?
Well, you'll see. We'll get there.
Okay,
we'll
cool.
get
This
there.
is awesome.
We will get there. PS2 proposed number 532 exclusives. Is the real answer higher or lower than that?
Now knowing what I know, I'm gonna say lower on that one.
Damiani.
Although it's PS2, PS1 is just
Lower?
the
I'm going to go
Wild
lower with
West.
these. You know it's probably going to be higher. I'm
You
going to go
both
lower.
say lower. That is correct. The real answer is 525. Not much lower,
7 lower.
but lower.
Wow. That's so insane.
Okay, PS3,
All right, this has to be
169.
much lower, please.
169.
Otherwise, I want to source. I want to look at this Wikipedia.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's already just the guesses.
The
169.
proposed,
PS3, like,
the proposed
has to
number
be,
is
like-
169.
I'm gonna say that's
There's
higher.
169 freaking.
So the real number is higher, Don?
No, I'm saying this number is higher than that. The real number is lower.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't believe this. 169 PS3 exclusive.
This is the proposed number. Is that too high or too low, Don?
This is PS3, notorious for being.
I think that's too. I think the
sparse.
real one's lower than that.
Okay, the real one is actually higher than that.
Oh,
It's 174,
Oh,
which is
barely.
still
So close.
way lower. That's like less than half of the previous two. All right, now things get real. PS4,
Okay.
proposed number 55 exclusives.
Okay, that sounds
That's more
normal.
Like,
This
yeah,
sounds
exactly. This is like what I was expecting.
That sounds realistic.
PS1's insane.
I'm gonna say that's like close. That's actually accurate or close to accurate.
That's so close.
So you want to know what the real one is? I think.
Yeah, is the real one higher or lower than that?
This is PS5?
Oh,
This is for
shit.
PS4.
Oh, 4.
55 is the proposed. 55! There.
I think this is about right. So the real one. Shit, I'm getting confused. What do I want to say?
You just say if you put it in context, you can
this is the fake. So this is the
you can say this one's too high or too low, or you can say the real number is higher or lower.
The real number is lower than this one. This one's a little. No, shit. Because we've been saying lower.
We've been flipping
higher.
back and forth confusingly every time.
I'm confused myself. Just pick one for me.
I'll go lower.
The real answer is lower. It's 49.
Booyah.
Okay.
Okay, this one is hilarious. The proposed number is 13 for the PS5.
That's probably exactly right.
PS5.
PS5 is like
higher.
So
what is it, like
exclusives.
14 or something?
The real answer is the PS5 apparently only has 12 exclusives.
Wow. I was gonna say so much of their games until this new policy change are coming out on PC.
Yeah, they have a follow-up. Yeah. They have a follow-up question here. Is 12 exclusives in 6 years worth the price of admission for a PS5? No. Is there any hope for the PS6 being any better? This really puts in perspective to me, because I was always like, oh, there are way fewer exclusives now. I didn't know that there were so many back in the PS1, PS2 days, and I didn't know how many fewer there are in this.
Yeah,
they're like that's like hundreds less. That's crazy. What the hell? I mean, obviously games are 300 times more complicated now. But
PS5 is starting to sound more and more like a PS4 Pro.
PS5 is a PS4 Pro. I think that's true. I mean, I think that, not to open this wound again, but I think every modern console is just the previous generation Pro. Because that's what we're in now. We're in the iterative.
Because we have pros. There's a PS4 and there's a PS4 Pro. Then there's a PS5. There's a PS5 Pro. They exist.
The PS5 actually is the PS4 Pro.
Like an Elite or something, or is that just that leak rumor? Did it actually happen?
Then we had a Switch. Then we had a Switch Pro.
We had a Switch, and then we had a Switch 2.
You had a Switch 2 Lite first.
Which is
there was
a
no
Switch
Pro.
They're all pros. Everything is just a Pro.
Switch Lite and Switch OLED.
All right, shut up. Patreon pitch time. By the way, before we get to this week's bets, Easy Allies patrons are getting 2 Love and Respect bonus questions, the insane cruelty of our older relatives in gaming, and I'm going to make this pair pick pairs. So if you want to get in on that extended cut, become a $5 patron at patreon.com/Easy Allies. By becoming a patron, you'll also get an ad-free version of this podcast 2 days early. You get into our official Discord, which is heaps of fun, and you can submit questions to Love and Respect, which we greatly appreciate. We need your support, and we need your questions, so get in there. We'll take questions about anything. Literally anything. Don't ask us something crazy, inflammatory. We just won't do it. But, ask us about whatever. Doesn't have to be games. If you really want to help us out, you can join our producer tiers, which start at $25. All of our producers get their names added to the monthly producer podcast credits, which are read aloud and hilariously mispronounced by Brandon Jones. Our platinum producers get a shout-out on this podcast each and every week. This month's shout-outs go to Jabawabs and El Thanis. Shout-out!
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 Hell yeah! So now, come join us on Patreon for those bonus questions. That's patreon.com/EasyAllies. Now it's time for bets. And I forgot to ask you guys the bets, so we're going to get your numbers in real time.
Okay.
Madden NFL 27 comes out next week on August 13th. On August 20th, how many spelling and grammar errors will be in the third comment down on the most recent trailer on YouTube?
Third comment down.
This includes punctuation and capitalization. Comment sorting will be on the default setting, which is usually top. We will make Bloodworth judge what counts as a spelling and grammar error.
Awesome.
I count Oxford commas.
Can we request that Don write his down right now?
Yeah, Don, what? Yeah, so...
Don't reveal it, Don. Just write it down on something there. Let us know when you've done it.
He has his camera on.
You too? Are you writing too? Yeah, my camera.
I have to think of one too.
I'm going first, so it doesn't matter. I don't get influenced by anyone.
How dare you?
What? I mean, how dare you?
No, he said, how dare you?
Oh, I know.
Oh.
All right. So, you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Or did you write it down, Don?
He's ready.
I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to go with 2.
Okay. Don, what's yours?
3.
I also said 3. Shit. Well, whatever. We'll see. The third comment for reference, the third comment on the most recent trailer for Madden 97, which came out like 4 hours ago, was for the Nintendo Switch edition. And the third comment was just petition for Nintendo to release a mainline Mario game or something like that.
Nice.
But it didn't have any grammar errors, to my knowledge. Might have been an incomplete sentence, but who knows. Last week's bet, Marvel Tokon is now out. How many viewers will it have on Twitch next week? I checked this right before the podcast. Last week, Damiani bet 20,000. Don bet 14,000. Huber bet 22,000. Isla, me, bet 41,000. And Blood bet 25.3 thousand. The real answer at 2:47 p.m. today. So unless this changed in the last couple hours, somebody big started streaming it. It was
13.2, right?
It was 9.2
right now.
It was 9.2 when I checked earlier. So Don wins either way. Yeah, Don wins either way.
Even right now, his answer doesn't change the outcome.
It's 13K right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Still means it makes it even closer for Don.
Don almost bullseyed it now, according to the current numbers.
I'm getting back in there.
Bringing the current scores to 11 for the two-time defending World Series championships Los Angeles Dodgers, which is Huber, for 11 also for me, the capable idea. And now Don, Strawberries and Cream, has 9.
Nice.
Damiani has 4, and the wild card has 2. Do we have any promotions? Probably.
What did we stream? Yeah, we continued our Big Walk.
We did Big Walk Part 2 last week. We're in love with Big Walk. We really like it. I want to find a time to just like all of us sit down and play the rest of it, because I never want to stop when we're playing it. Yeah. So yeah, check that out if you want to watch that. We've streamed 2 chunks of it, like 2.5-ish hours each. Hell yeah. Voting is now happening for Stream Team, and Big Walk is on the ballot, so you could make it so we play it again. But if you don't want us to play that, vote for something else. Cool. Don, you get to shout out anything or anyone that's on your mind. You get the final word on anything you disagreed with, want to reiterate, or popped into your head, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
Okay, sweet. I will give my shout out first. I headed out, as everyone knows, I went to California Extreme this last weekend.
Hell yeah.
That's the big giant pinball and arcade game convention. It's always a wonderful time.
You played Discs of Tron?
I didn't stand in line for it, but I saw it and took pictures of it for you. This year I didn't play Discs of Tron. There was so many games, not enough time. You really got to be choosy. But anyway, I'm going to talk about it next week a little more in the podcast once Huber's here too, because I got some stuff I wanted to show him off. But I just want to give a shout out to everyone up there, all the volunteers, including our patron that I bump into every year, Chris, and his awesome family.
Sick.
Volunteering, helping out, and also just coming together, have a good time. It was so nice, even with the World Cup delay, the show still happened, and it was awesome. So I'll talk about it more next week. Shout out to everyone that made California Extreme happen. It was so fun. Final word. I thought about this for a moment right now, and I have a final word for today's show. I'm going to repeat one of the greatest jokes I've ever written, because some of you may have missed it. I'm very proud of this joke I made a long time. It was if you didn't see the opinion yell, you missed it. So I'm going to repeat it here tonight, and it's also part of my final word. Look, you've convinced me. You've all convinced me. It is not the Switch Pro. It is, in fact, the Switch 2. You see that joke? You see the punchline?
T-O-O, yeah.
You see that punchline? Why are you laughing, Damiani? It's one of the greatest jokes I've ever written. All right, anyway. Sayonara, essays. I don't know. Let's get out of here.
Don't go towards the light.